Students, we are now in part 3 video. So far up to part 2 we have completed the exercise 8.1 fully. Students, do you feel easy this chapter statistics and probability? Yes. Now in this part 3 session I am going to start the new topic coefficient of variation. Okay, what is this coefficient of variation? We will learn, then we will go for the definition. Okay, comparison of two data in terms of measure of central tendency and dispersion in some case will not be meaningful. What is this in some case it is not meaningful means because the variable in the data may not have same unit of measurement. Okay, see here it is in kilogram, here it is in rupees. Here it is in kilogram, here it is in rupees. Here we cannot compare the standard deviation. Okay, because one it is in kilogram and another one it is in rupees. For comparing two or more data for corresponding change, the relative measure of standard deviation is called coefficient of variation. Clear? For comparing two or more corresponding data using the relative measure of standard deviation. Okay, relative measure of standard deviation is called coefficient of variation C dot V. C dot V also we can say. Clear students? Now how this coefficient of variation formula we got means coefficient of variation is obtained by, see I have written coefficient of variation is obtained by dividing the standard deviation by arithmetic mean. Okay, see I have written coefficient of variation is equal to standard deviation. What is obtained by dividing? I am dividing the standard deviation S dot D by which I am dividing? Arithmetic mean I am dividing. Here it is usually expressed in terms of percentage. So the answer usually we will express in the terms of percentage. So I have written here into 100 percentage. Percentage means 100, so I have multiplied with 100 percentage. Because always the coefficient of variation will be the answer of percentage. The final answer will be. Clear all of you what is coefficient of variation and why we are using the coefficient of variation? Why we are using the coefficient of variation? To compare two or more data for corresponding change in the relative measure of standard deviation is called coefficient of variation we are using. Clear? Here students, this formula was suggested by one of the most prominent statistician Karl Pearson. Okay, his name was Karl Pearson. Clear students, all of you now. Next, this is the formula. Coefficient of variation is equal to standard deviation divided by mean into 100 percentage. Clear? Coefficient of variation is equal to standard deviation means sigma divided by mean means x bar into 100 percentage. Okay, either you can use or else you can use this. Okay, this is the short form. Standard deviation means we will represent by sigma. Mean means x bar. So I have written two things. Which one you feel easy, you can use that. Clear? The CV, the coefficient C dot V means coefficient of variation. C dot V is also called as relative standard deviation. Okay, sometimes they will say it as relative standard deviation. In question paper, sometimes if they are asking find the relative standard deviation means you should not blink. That is what? Coefficient of variation only. Clear all of you the definition and the explanation of the coefficient of variation? Yes. Next we will start the exercise 8.2. See the first question in exercise 8.2. The standard deviation and mean of your data are 6.5 and 12.5 respectively. Find the coefficient of variation. In the first question they were asking us to find the coefficient of variation. Okay, what is the formula for coefficient of variation? Standard deviation divided by mean into 100 percentage. Or otherwise we can say sigma divided by x bar into 100 percentage also we can say. Students, what are the values they are given in the question? Standard deviation they are given as 6.5 and the mean of your data. Next and is what? 12.5. Clear? So you have to write that standard deviation sigma is equal to 6.5, mean x bar is equal to 12.5. Clear? What is the coefficient of variation formula? C dot B, standard deviation divided by mean into 100 percentage. Now standard deviation we are having 6.5 divided by mean is 12.5 into 100 percentage. Clear? So here also after decimal we are having one number. Here also after decimal one number. So you multiply both numerator and denominator by 10. Okay, 6.5 into 10 divided by 12.5 into 10 into 100 percentage. Okay, 6.5 into 10 if you multiply what we will get? We will get 65 divided by 12.5 into 10 if you are multiplying what we will get? 125 into 100 percentage. Now if you are cancelling, we are getting in the numerator 13 into 4. Then denominator only 1 is coming. So 13 into 4 if you are multiplying, how many percentage you are getting? The coefficient of variation is equal to 52 percentage. That's all, the problem over. Clear all of you? They have given standard deviation, they have given mean in the question. Just we have to substitute the values in the formula and we have to find the answer. Clear all of you the first question. Next we will see the second question. Next is 8.2. Next we are going to see the second question. The standard deviation and coefficient of variation of your data are 1.2 and 25.6 respectively they have given. Which means standard deviation value sigma is equal to 1.2 they have given in the question. Then coefficient of variation is equal to 25.6 percentage I have written. Why I have written percentage, do you able to understand? Because coefficient of variation it is usually expressed in terms of percentage. So I have written there percentage. We know that coefficient of variation formula is what? Standard deviation divided by mean into 100 percentage. We know the formula. Isn't it? Next, what is the value coefficient of variation they have given? 25.6. So I have written here. Standard deviation is 1.2 divided by mean into 100 percentage. Next I am cross multiplying the mean. So 25.6 into mean is equal to 1.2 into 100 percentage we are getting. Mean is equal to 1.2. This 25.6 if you are dividing we will get into this 100 percentage. Then after decimal we are having one number. So if you multiply with 10 and 10 means we will get 12 divided by 256 we are getting. So that if we are cancelling the numerator we are getting 3 into 25 is 75. The denominator I am getting 16. Student, I have done the division C. This is a normal division. Usually how we will divide, how we have done in lower class the division. The normal division only I have done here. So the answer when I am dividing what I am getting? 4.687 I am getting. So if I round off what can I write? 4.69. Clear? Mean is equal to 4.69. That is the answer. Clear all of you the second question? Yes. Next we will see the next question. In exercise 8.2, next we are going to see the fourth question. See, they itself have given certain values and we have to just find what is coefficient of variation. See, what is the question they have given? N is equal to 5, x bar equal to 6, then summation x square equal to 765. Okay, they are given three values. Using the three values, we have to find the coefficient of variation. Here students, now what are the values they have given? They have given n value. Okay, whether that n value we are using in the coefficient of variation formula, we are not using. X bar value they are given. Whether we are using the x bar value in coefficient of variation, yes, we are using. Then another value what they are given, summation x square equal to 765. Whether summation x square value we are using in coefficient of variation, no, we are not using it. Okay, so we in the formula we are having x bar and we don't have the standard deviation. Sigma we are not having. So what we have to do first, using the given values we have to find the sigma. Only then we can apply the coefficient of variation formula that values. Here first we are going to find the sigma. Sigma means standard deviation. The standard deviation we can find it in many ways, but if like this if they are giving the direct values means you can go for ungrouped data direct method we can go. Here now n is equal to 5, x bar equal to 6. I told you many times x bar means what? Summation x by n. Mean formula is what? Mean means x bar. So x bar is equal to summation of x divided by n. So wherever we need a summation of x by n, that place you can substitute 6. Here, next in the question we are given summation x square equal to 765. That value they have given in the question. By direct method, why they are using the direct method? To find the value of sigma. Here, square root of summation x square value is 765 divided by n is 5 minus summation x divided by n the whole square. We are having summation x divided by n. What is the value? Summation x divided by n means x bar. So x bar value is what? 6. So this whole full value is 6 the whole square. Clear all of you how I am writing instead of the 6 the whole square? Because x bar is 6. Indirectly they have given. Okay, they have not given straightly. They have given indirectly. Indirectly in the sense they have given x bar equal to 6. But x bar means what? Summation x by n. So you have to think that summation x by n value only 6. I have substituted here 6 the whole square. Then 5 and 765 we are cancelling means we are getting 153. 6 square is 36. After subtracting I am getting 117. Standard deviation sigma is equal to 117. We have to take the square root for 117. Isn't it? See, we have to group from the last two numbers. So till now you forgot about the 0. Only I am having this 3 number 117. So from the last if I am grouping here the 2, then here only one number, 1 is left. So whatever the number writing in the quotient, the same number here also you have to write. So 1 into 1 is 1. So I have to bring the 17 down. See, I am bringing the 17 down. Then after bringing the 17, then whatever, till now what we are having in the quotient? 1. That 1 you have to multiply with 2. Here this 1 you have to multiply with 2. Then whether what number if I put 1, here also 1 I have to put. Here, but here if I put 1 into 21, whether 17 here 2 number will come. It is exceeding. So what I have to do? I have to put 0 only. Clear all of you? So here also 0 I am writing and here also I am writing 0. Clear all of you? Then after this here I am having decimal. So after that I have to keep the 0. I have to keep the decimal and I have to add 2 to 0 only I have to add. Why I have to add 2 to 0? So that in the square root when you are bringing down you have to bring the two numbers. Clear? Since I have kept 0 I am going to bring the 0 down. So 1700 I have got now. So after the decimal what number you are writing, the same number here also you have to write. Here if I write 8, if I am writing 8 then here also I have to write 8. Clear? Now 8 into 208 if I multiply only I am getting near to this number 1700. Okay, suppose if you are writing 7 means you will get very less number when compared to 1700. So I am writing 88. How ma'am, how will I know during the exam? Means you have to try, then only you have to find the value. No other way for this. Okay. So now 8 into 208 is 1664 we are having. Here, if you are subtracting, I am getting 36. Again, I am bringing the 20 down. Here, now students, only if you are working the square root for more than 2 or 3 times, you can able to understand. Anyhow, we have learned the square root in the lower class, but now I think you have forgotten that. Isn't it? Okay, now I told you this 1 into 2 I have multiplied and I have written here. The next, what I am having in that, now you think that here I am not having the 1. Okay, here I don't have the 1. So till now what I am having in the quotient, 10.8 I am having. Okay, that you should not see the 10.8, 108 you have to see. That full number you are going to multiply with 2. 18 into 2. If you are multiplying, 8 2s are 16. 1, 2 is 2. I am getting 216. That number only you have to write. Each step you have to multiply with 2 and you have to write. Here 216 I have got. Now you see what number I am writing here. The same number here also I have to write. If I write 1, then here also I have to write 1. Clear? So, because I am having 3600, suppose if I am writing 2, then here also I have to write 2. If I write 2, it will go near to 4000 something. So, we need only 3600 around. So, I am writing 1 times it is enough. So, 1 into 2161 is 2161. You no need to subtract. After decimal, if you are getting 1 number, it's enough. Suppose if you need, you can write 2 number also. Okay, 10.81 is our standard deviation. Now for us it is easy to calculate the coefficient of variation. Coefficient of variation formula is standard deviation divided by sigma divided by x bar into 100%. That is the coefficient of variation formula. Isn't it? Standard deviation now we are having, what is the value? 10.81 divided by x bar value they are given in the question, 6 into 100%. Clear? 10.81, if you are multiplying that into 100 means what will I get? 1081 I am getting. You have to write a percentage. Clear? Divided by 6. See, I am dividing. This is the normal division. Okay, normal division. If you divide 1081 with 6 means how many times you are getting? 180.1666666 it's going on. So I am making to round off. I have written 180.17%. I have written. Clear all of you the fourth question? Okay, I think students you will feel little difficult in taking the square root. But if you are trying for more than 2 to 3 problems, you will be very familiar. Then you will not feel any difficult to taking the square root. Okay, unless if you are not any effort from you, you will feel everything is difficult only. Here you take any number of so far we have done so many of problem taking the square root. So take all the problem, only the square root part alone you take and write it in separate rough note and start doing the square root. You will feel very easy. Within the third problem itself you will feel easy. Clear? Yes, next we will see the fifth question. Next in exercise 8.2 we are going to see the fifth question. Find the coefficient of variation of 24, 26, 33, 37, 29, 31. They have given some observation. With this observation, we have to find the coefficient of variation. We have to find. Okay, first you have to think what is the coefficient of variation formula. Coefficient of C dot V is equal to standard deviation divided by mean into 100%. That is our coefficient of variation formula. But whether they have given here standard deviation? No. Whether they have given mean value? No, nothing they have not given, but they have given the observations. Okay, using the observation, we have to find what is sigma, which means what is standard deviation we have to find, and what is mean we have to find. Okay, whenever they were asking you to find the coefficient of variation and they have not given directly answer, means you have to find using the tabular column the standard deviation value, then you have to find the mean value, and then only we can find the coefficient of variation. Clear what I am saying? Now see, first I am going to find what is mean. So for that, data I am first given data I am arranging in the ascending order. Okay, see I am arranging ascending order means what? Small number to big number. Data x is equal to 24, 26, 29, 31, 33, 37. I have arranged the data in the ascending order. What is the mean formula? X bar is equal to summation x by n is our formula. Isn't it? Summation x means what? Given all the observation you have to add. The final answer is the summation of x. So summation 24 plus 26 plus 29 plus 31 plus 33 plus 37 divided by n. N, how many observations we have given? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 divided by 6. If we add all the numerator, we are getting 180 divided by 6. So 6 and 180 if you are cancelling, we are getting 30. So mean x bar equal to 30. Okay, we have found the mean value. Next, for coefficient of variation, what value we need? We need sigma, standard deviation value we need. Okay, I told you in previous video, if we want to find the sigma standard deviation, we can go for assumed mean method I told you. Isn't it? Students, if the question they are asking, find the standard deviation alone means we can go for assumed mean method. But here find the coefficient of variation. Okay, here coefficient of variation when they are asking, by that time if you are going for assumed mean, that time also we get same answer, but it will take some more time. Okay, so to make it the time short, I am doing by the mean method. Okay, this makes you the problem very short and it will take only very less time. Okay, now we'll see the tabular column for how to calculate the standard deviation by mean method. Now we are going to calculate the standard deviation by mean method. See, the mean method formula is summation. See, I have written down. Standard deviation sigma is equal to square root of summation d square divided by n. This is the by mean method to calculate the standard deviation. Clear? Summation d square we need. Okay, d is equal to x minus x bar is the formula. Where we have to choose the x bar already we have found. What is that? 30. So this is our x where we have taken, that is the given observation. Okay, this is our x. We have to subtract each value of x with the x bar, so that we will get d value. Easily we can write d square value. Okay, x is what? First observation is 24. 24 minus 30 is minus 6. If you are squaring, we will get 36. The next observation is 26. 26 minus 30 is minus 4. 4 square is 16. 29 minus 30 is minus 1. 1 square is 1. So, 1. That is 1 only. Next, 31 minus 30 is 1. 1 if you are squaring 1. 33 minus 30 is 3. So, 3 square is 9. Then 37 minus 30 is 7. 7 square is 49. In the formula, we need summation d square value. So, which means we have to add all the values. 36 plus 16 plus 1 plus 1 plus 9 plus 49. If you are adding, we are getting 112. Okay, that we have to apply in the formula. We have to find the sigma value. Okay, after finding the sigma value, then only we can find the coefficient of variation. Clear? That we will see in the, I will erase this part and I will now write. See here, I have applied the value here. Summation d square, what value we have got? We have got 112 divided by 6. See, 112 by 6 I have divided there. When I am dividing, I am getting 18.66666. It's going on. So to make it round off, I have written 18.67. Okay, now I am going to take the square root for 18.67. Listen it carefully. What is the first step in the square root? You have to group two numbers. From the right side you have to group. That is very important. See, now from the right side I am having 18.67. Okay, I have grouped two number and here two number. So 18. So what number you are writing? The same number in quotient also you have to write. Isn't it? So if I write 1 1, it is very left. 2 2, that also. 3 3, 9. 4 4, 16. But if you are substituting 5 5, 25, it is exceeding. So we have to put 4 4. 4 4s are 16. Remaining 2 you will get and bring this 67. Before bringing, your decimal is there. So keep the decimal in the quotient and then we have to bring the 67. Clear? Usually one step we will multiply the into 2. Isn't it? Here into 2 if you multiply we will get 8. Here also you can multiply 2. Okay, either here or either in the quotient you can multiply with 2. So 4 2s are 8. Okay, now here, now think that we don't have here 3 and here also we are not having 3. For now what is the try we have to do? Either we have to put 1 1 into 81, will it come near to 267? No. Next 2, then here also 2 you have to try. 2 into 82, will it come near to this number? No. Then we have to put 3 3. So if you are substituting here 3, here 3, only then we will get near to this number. Okay, 3 3s are 9, 8 3s are 24. If you are writing 4 4 means it will exceed beyond the 267. So now I have written 83. Here also 4.3 we have got. If you subtract this, we are getting 18. So after decimal we need two numbers. One number also it's enough. So I have written two number. So for that the another number I have no number. So I itself have to put add 20. Okay. So 18 alone is there. So you bring the 20 down. Why we itself adding 0? Already it is decimal is there. So we can add the 0. 20, that 20 is down now. Now you see. I told you this 8 already we have multiplied with 2. So you just bring the 8 down. Okay. Now you have to see 43 is there. You should not see 4.3. There we are having 43. Okay. So 43 into 2 if you multiply, what we will get? 3 2s are 6, 4 2s are 8. 86 we are getting. Isn't it? So now after this 3, what number you are writing? The same number here also you have to write. So if you are writing 1, then here also 1. 1 into 861, that is very less. So 2 into 862, it is coming 1724. So no need to subtract. We have got after decimal 2 number, that's it enough. So the answer is 4.32. Okay, therefore the sigma standard deviation is equal to 4.32. But the question is not this. The question is what? Find the coefficient of variation. Now only we are entering into the problem. Coefficient of variation is equal to standard deviation by mean into 100%. That is the formula. So standard deviation, what answer we are having? 4.32 divided by mean. What we have found in page number 1. Sorry, I have not changed the page number. This is page number 2. Here, see, standard deviation is 4.32. Mean in page number 1 we have got 30 into 100%. Your percentage will come. Now after this 4.32 into 100, if you multiply we will get 432 divided by 30. Then this percentage alone is there. So if you are cancelling 72 in the numerator and denominator we are getting 5. So if you divide 5 into 72, the answer we are getting is 14.4%. That is the coefficient of variation answer. Clear? With this we are completing the 5th question. Clear? In fifth question, we itself have to find the mean value. We itself have to find the standard deviation value. And then only we have to substitute in the coefficient of variation formula. We will find the answer for coefficient of variation. Clear all of you the fifth question? Yes. Next in exercise 8.2, we are going to see the seventh question. Before going to seventh question, we have to see one note. The note is based on comparing two CV values. Two CV value means how to compare the two coefficient values. Okay, coefficient of variation values, how to compare, I am going to tell you now. See, the first notice, the smaller CV value is called as more consistent or more stable. Smaller CV value means when you are calculating the CV value, for first tabular column you are getting 92. For the second tabular column you are getting the answer as 50. So, which is the smaller CV value that you are going to consider as more consistent or more stable. Okay, the second note is reverse. The larger CV value is called as less consistent or less stable. The reverse of this. Okay, smaller CV value means more consistent, more stable. Larger CV value means less consistent or less stable. Okay, now we will deeply learn about this in problems. Now see the problem, 7th question. The total marks scored by two students. One girl is Satya and another girl is Vidya. In 5 subjects are, the mark is Satya scored 460 and Vidya scored 480 with standard deviation. Okay, for Satya the standard deviation is 4.6. For Vidya the standard deviation is 2.4 respectively. Who is more consistent in performance? Which is more consistent in performance we have to find. See, Satya we are going to calculate separately and Vidya we are going to calculate separately. Okay. Satya is also writing the number of subjects is what? 5 subjects she is going to write. Total marks she has scored is summation of x we have to take, that is 460. In the question they have given standard deviation is 4.6 for Satya. So standard deviation sigma equal to 4.6. Clear? That side we are going to calculate for the Vidya. Vidya also the same 5 subject only. So n is equal to 5 and the total marks she scored is summation x is equal to 480. Standard deviation for Vidya sigma is 2.4. We have to find who is more consistent. Okay, now for more consistent means what? We have to find the value. Coefficient of variation value only we have to find. For coefficient of variation, what are the values we need? We need sigma and mean value. Whether we are having sigma value, do you have mean value in this? We don't have. We only have to find. What is the mean formula? X bar is equal to summation x divided by n. That is the mean formula. Isn't it? So x bar equal to summation x by n. Summation x for Satya is what? 460 by 5. Now the calculation I am doing is for Satya. After erasing, I will do the calculation for Vidya. Clear? So Satya's score is 460, n is 5. When you are dividing, I am getting 92. Okay, now we are having mean and as well as we are having the standard deviation. We have to just substitute in the coefficient of variation formula. So here we are going to find 2 CV. So I am calculating Satya for CV1. Similarly, we can do Vidya CV2. But the same formula only. Standard deviation divided by mean into 100%. Standard deviation for Satya is 4.6. Mean value we have calculated 92 into 100%. So 4.6 if you multiply with 100, we will get 460 divided by 92. After cancelling, I am getting the numerator 5 and the denominator I am getting 1. So for Satya, the coefficient of variation is 5%. Okay, now we cannot decide who is more consistent. Only if we find Vidya's value, we can tell who is more consistent. Isn't it? Now we'll see the Vidya coefficient of variation. Next, I have calculated for Vidya. Now see, mean x bar is equal to summation x by n is the formula. Summation x is 480, n is 5. So if I divide, I am getting 96. So mean x bar equal to 96 is the answer. Now for coefficient of variation we have to find for Vidya. So what is the formula? Standard deviation by mean into 100 percentage. So standard deviation they are given in the question, which is 2.4. 2.4 only they have given. It is 40 also same only, no problem. So if you don't want, I will take this. So 2.4 divided by mean value is 96 into 100 percentage. So if you multiply 2.4 into 100 means what we will get? We will get 240 divided by 96. This percentage you have to write. So after cancelling, I am getting in the numerator 5. The denominator I am getting 2. You all know if you divide 5 by 2, it is 2.5. You all know. Anyhow, I have divided and showed. So the answer is what? 2.5 percentage. CV2 answer is 2.5 percentage. CV1, what is the value we have got for Satya? We have got 5. Who's less? Who's less? Vidya only have got coefficient of variation less value. Isn't it? Now you see the note. The smaller CV value is called more consistent. Isn't it? Who have got the smallest coefficient value? Vidya has got the smallest coefficient variation value. Vidya has got. So Vidya mark is more consistent. You have to write the last line. Clear? Because Vidya alone have got the coefficient of value, variation value is smaller. Clear? Clear students, all of you? The same model you are going to try the 8th question homework. Clear? Students, this is a part 3 assignment in page number 316, exercise 8.2, third problem, 6th, 8th and 9th problem we are going to do homework. See students, the third problem, how we are going to do means in exercise 8.2, I have done the second problem, isn't it? The same model you are going to try the third problem. It is very small problem. Similarly, if you come to 6th problem, in exercise 8.2, how I have done the 5th problem. The same model, same, everything is same. We are going to try the 6th question. Clear all of you? Similarly 8th question, how we are going to do means in exercise 8.2, 7th question. The same model procedure, everything, formula, everything same. We are going to try the 8th question. Clear? Students, for 9th question, in exercise 8.2, the 5th question model. Okay, they have given the observation, you have to find the mean and you have to find the standard deviation and then only we have to find the coefficient of variation. Isn't it? 9th question you are going to follow by the 5th question method. Clear? All are easy sum only. So try the assignment problem. Clear students? Thank you.